everybody. Good morning. My name is Polly Morris, and I am here today to talk with you about stigma, addiction, and recovery. What is recovery? This elusive word. What is recovery? So according to SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration, recovery is a process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live self-directed lives, and blah, blah, blah to their full potential. Great. What I like about it is it's a process of change. And there's no mention of drugs in here. Did you see that? Notice that? No alcohol or drugs in there. No bowling, no gaming. It's just recovery. So really you could say if I was in recovery from heart surgery, after I just came out of heart surgery, I would be in recovery. People should learn to use that word more. But recovery is basically health, wellness. Recovery equals wellness, equals improvement, equals I want to be better in my life. I want to be the person that I was intended to be before I got so masked in this addiction and had no way out. I'm here, I found it. We should praise people who get into recovery. We should shout from the top of buildings, yay, you're still alive. During COVID, we forgot about that. So recovery is a process of change, and it's a wonderful change. You can see it in people's eyes. When they stop the active addiction, you can see the change happening. And people who are in active addiction don't often see that. And all we want you to do is reach out and say hello and support us. Love us till we can love ourselves. So recovery in New Hampshire, there's two kinds of services that are paid for by the state. Peer recovery support services. So research has shown that it's effective when you have someone who's been through the same experience you have or similar, and you can walk together down that same path of recovery or experiences that you're sharing. And so that's the gift of recovery coaching, peer-assisted recovery, is that I have experience with a lot of years of drug and alcohol use and the impacts on my family, my friends, my world, my life, definitely my career. I did a lot of research to get here, folks. So recovery coaching, peer recovery supports can really help because people, they know those feelings that you feel when you have that internal stigma. When I say I'm a shithead and I'm never going to be able to be a good mother again, like they say, they know the feelings of yourself, treating yourself like crap because of the internal struggles. So recovery coaching, you can go into these recovery centers. There's about 18 in New Hampshire, all over the state, and you can sign up and get a recovery coach. And that coach is somebody you go in and make an appointment with like anybody else, and you make a wellness plan. And the recovery coaches are trained professionals. They've taken quite an extensive amount of training to become a certified recovery support worker. That's the New Hampshire licensure certification. Or they're on their way and they're in the middle of training. And it's a lot, but it's wonderful training. So you've got these folks that are there to help guide you through what you need. And then there's telephone recovery support services, which is where if you're not quite sure you want to go into a center, you can call. A lot of the websites that have these little chat features that you can go in and talk to somebody and even be a little bit anonymous if you want. Like, there's nobody to pressure you, there's no coercion. We're going to treat you like a resource. We're going to say, what do you need? What can we do? How can we support you? And the telephone recovery supports is just a really great way to get some support without having to leave your home. Some of the activities that these centers do, they all have a multiple choice of meetings. So there could be 12-step meetings, there could be smart recovery meetings, which is sort of like a cognitive behavioral kind of group. I'm probably getting that wrong, but it's non-clinical, non-medical. And then you have like refuge recovery and gosh, there's so many pathways into recovery. Exercise recovery, music. It's just these centers have so many activities going on. Parenting Journey and Recovery, a wonderful parenting program that we have in New Hampshire. And I encourage folks to connect with your local center. Here in this area, it's the Keene Serenity Center and Reality Check over in Jaffrey with Mary Drew. So the question was, what does a person with an addiction look like? These people, are they people with addictions? They're all in recovery, I know that for sure. And what do they all have in common? They're all smiling. They've all been to hell and back, and they're here today to tell about it, to help about it, to save other lives about it, and they're smiling. How about these folks? Again, people in recovery. There's Reality Check, written Jaffrey, woohoo! We've got some parenting journey in recovery, I told you about that. These people are happy people, and recovery is possible for anyone. Prevention works, treatment is effective, and recovery is possible. In closing, when a person you think they may have a problem with alcohol or drugs, don't accost them when they're under the influence. Keep yourself safe, but be truthful. Like, you don't have to sugarcoat anything. You're having a problem with this. I see it, I feel it. Let's do something about it together. Not, I'm throwing you out of the house. But like, how can I love you? How can we love each other and support each other through this medical condition? It's the same as having cancer, folks. I've had both. I know this from experience. You need support. You need people to lead you down the path and work together. So if it's one of your loved ones, share that you know about the recovery centers. And there's free services, and they can get a peer coach, or they could go to some of the meetings there, or meetings are online. And talk about 211. This is in our state. It's helpful for people to get access to treatment through the 211 in the doorways. You are familiar with the doorways here. And just, like I said, just be honest and don't blame or shame yourself or the person that you love. Like, nobody asked. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, yeah, I always knew I wanted to become addicted. Just didn't know how to get there. Here are some of the resources that I will leave. And lastly, we have Zeta. Zeta wants to stop the stigma. Put the person first before the condition. A person with an addiction, a person with a cocaine use disorder, a person with a crack disorder. Doesn't really matter what it is. A person with cancer. It's person, not condition. The limits of our language are the limits of our world. When we see people with addiction as less than and not as people, that limits us. When we use language that's more dignifying and respectful of people with a medical condition, we stop the perpetuation of stigma and discrimination. That's the goal. Saving lives, that's the goal. Thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you all for coming here today. This is a big deal. And you can go out of here today with your action step, changing those language, change the thoughts, change those feelings, and that will change your actions, your behaviors. Can't go wrong. Okay, thank you.